How are you? In today's class we shall start with relative atomic mass A of an element. The relative atomic mass A of an element is defined as average relative mass of an atom of the element compared with an atom of carbon taken as 12U. Please underline this. This is the definition of relative atomic mass. That means it is average relative mass relative to the carbon which is taken as 12U. Let us take an example, common life example, that generally we say when we are measuring height, see, I am taller than him or her, or see, he or she is shorter than me in height. What we are doing there? We are comparing them. So relative means comparative. When we compare any atom or molecule, or any atom of element with the weight of carbon, and what is the weight of carbon? 12U. Then we can say that it is the relative atomic mass of element. The relative atomic mass is denoted by A, capital A. The relative atomic mass is a pure number and hence it has no unit. The relative atomic mass of an element indicates the number of times one atom of the element is heavier than the 1/12 of the C12 atom. C12 means it is the carbon 12 isotope. Actually, carbon is found in two isotopes mainly, that is carbon 12 and carbon 14. Carbon 14 tends to be a nuclear reactive atom. So 1/12 part of that atom. Let us take an example. A vegetable vendor came to our area, vegetable and fruit vendor, and he has no way to weigh the things. What he says that okay, I have this watermelon and I have cutted it into the 12 parts, and each piece is equal to 1 kilogram. So now he is measuring in relation to the 12th piece of that chopped watermelon. And now let us assume that watermelon is carbon, an atom of carbon, that watermelon, and we cutted it in the 12 parts, and we are using one part as measuring weight. So this means 1/12 of the of a 12/6 carbon atom. This which is written above is called atomic mass. And this which is written here below, this, if you can see, this is 6. This is called atomic number. Atomic number. For example, the average relative mass of chlorine is 35.5. This means that an atom of chlorine on average is 30.5/12 times heavier than one atom of carbon 12. The names, symbols and relative atomic mass of some common elements are presented in this table. Now here, let me mention it that here we are seeing that average relative mass of chlorine is 35.5. While in the Dalton's theory we have studied that atomic mass tends to be in the whole number, but 35.5 is not a whole number. So this is the drawback of Dalton. This is the table which you can see, and please study at your home. I shall move further away. How do atoms exist? The atoms of most elements except the noble gases such as helium, neon, argon, krypton and xenon do not exist independently. Independently means atom at atomic level, which means single atom. That if single atom can exist in normal conditions, then it is called existing independently. Atoms combine together to form molecules and ions. Molecules and ions differ in terms of the charge they are carrying. While the molecules are neutral compounds, why the ions possess either positive or negative charge. What does it mean? It means there is a difference between molecule and ions. What is that difference? That difference is that molecules are neutral in charge in context of the charge, while ions possess either positive or negative charge. Large number of molecules or ion aggregate together. Aggregate means they come together to form various types of substances we see around us. The compound containing molecules are called molecular compounds. Please underline this. This is the definition of molecular compounds. And the compounds containing ions are called ionic compounds. From here to here, please underline the compounds containing. These are the definitions of ionic compounds and molecular compounds. Now, let us see what is a molecule. The smallest particle of an element, I repeat, a smallest particle of an element of or compound, I repeat, the smallest part of an element or a compound which can exist freely under ordinary conditions and show all the properties of that substance, which means it is showing all the properties which are ascertained or found by the experiments or can be seen or can be observed. Every molecule will show all the properties of that substance of which it is part, and this is called a molecule. So this is the definition, although it is quite lengthy, but it worth memorizing because it will come into your exam. So please memorize this definition. The smallest particle of an element or a compound which can exist freely under ordinary conditions and also shows all the properties of that substance, element or compound is called a molecule. A molecule may contain atoms of same or different elements. Characteristics. What are the characteristics of a molecule? A molecule is an electrically neutral group of two or more atoms chemically bonded together. Molecules can exist in free state because they are energetically stable. Of these three you will study in higher classes. Molecules can be formed either by the combination of atoms of the same element or of the different elements. For example, sodium chloride, that is our common salt, molecule is made by sodium and chlorine elements, and hence its formula is NaCl. The number of atoms of all elements in a molecule of any substance means we are counting element and compound both, is called its atomicity. Please underline this. This is the definition of atomicity. What does it mean? Which means like in a molecule, what is the number of atoms? That number is called atomicity. For example, let us take example of water, formula H2O, where hydrogen have two atoms, so atomicity of hydrogen is 2. Atomicity of a molecule could be 1, 2, 3 or any other number. The molecules of noble gases contain only one atom, so noble gases are monoatomic, i.e. that means that is noble gases exist in the atomic form. Monoatomic molecules of elements these are three examples: helium, neon and argon. The molecules of gases like hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen etc. contain two atoms, which means neither hydrogen nor oxygen nor chlorine or nitrogen, just like here in example, they cannot exist as a lone atoms. That's why they combine, and two atoms combine to make a molecule which is stable. So H2, O2 and Cl2. These are called diatomic molecules. Di means two and atomic means atomic. Both the molecules of water and carbon dioxide contain 3 atoms each. Therefore, they are termed as triatomic molecules, because 2 is hydrogen and 1 is oxygen. Similarly, 1 is carbon and 2 is the oxygen. Similarly, 1 is sulfur and 2 are dioxide, so these are called triatomic. Now we will see what is a chemical formula. Each chemical compound is known by a specific name. Writing the full name of compound repeatedly is time consuming and inconvenient. For example, if I start writing H2O or water or carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide, it will take time, it will waste my paper, and it will be inconvenient for me. So instead of that, what I am doing, I am just writing the names of the atoms or elements which are instrumental in making that compound, and apart that I am writing the number in which they are present. For example, H2O, hydrogen and oxygen both are present here, so I wrote down their symbols H and O. Hydrogen is 2, so I wrote down 2 just after the 2 in subscript, and O is single, so I wrote nothing. Here, carbon dioxide, carbon and oxygen, carbon has symbol as C, oxygen has symbol as O, so C and O. Oxygen is having 2 atoms, so I wrote 2 after O in subscript. Similarly, same is the case of sulfur dioxide. So this is time consuming and inconvenient. Therefore, in chemistry, such substances is denoted by its chemical formula. This is called chemical formula. This is called this and this are called chemical formula. There are 2 types of chemical formulae. Formulae is the plural for formula. First is molecular formula, or second is empirical or stoichiometric formula. Now let us see what is a molecular formula. A molecular formula contains 2 or more chemically bonded atoms of the same or different types. For example, here 2 are of same kind, same species, HH, hydrogen, oxygen, chlorine. Here they are of different species, hydrogen and oxygen, carbon and oxygen, sulfur and oxygen. So they can be same or they can be different type. Therefore, a molecule can be represented in terms of the symbol and number of atoms of the elements present in it, just like we have seen few minutes ago. A shorthand notation of a molecule in terms of symbols and the number of atoms of each element present in it is called the molecular formula. This is the definition of molecular formula. You can be asked that what is molecular formula, so your answer will be this, a shorthand notation. This is shorthand notation because we are writing in short form. Contain molecule in terms of symbols. We used symbols and we wrote the numbers of atoms participating in it, and this is called the molecular formula. The molecular formula of a substance may also be defined as follows. The symbolic representation of a molecule of any substance representing the actual number of various atoms present in it is called the molecular formula. Underline this also. Actually, it is a little bit premature because they haven't told you about the unit formula, etc. So better will be that we can say that these numbers show the ratio in which all the substances or elements are participating to combine. For example, 2 and 1. 2 is to ratio 1. 1 is to ratio 2. 1 is to ratio 2. 1 is to ratio 2. 1 sulfur, 2 oxygen. 1 is to 2. 1 is to 2. So basically more proper is they show the ratio, but you will have to write this in the exam. For example, the molecular formula of water is H2O. Thus, one molecule of water contains 2 atoms of the hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. What is an empirical formula or stoichiometric formula? It is the case of ionic compounds such as sodium chloride and giant covalent compounds, for example diamond, having network structure, there is no discrete molecule. So discrete means, for example, let us say this pencil is a discrete unit. So we can count each pencil separately. So this is discrete unit. While air around this is not discrete, that is continuous. So in ionic compounds, there are no discrete molecules, so it is meaningless to talk a molecule and molecular formula for substance. If there is no molecule, then how can we talk about molecular formula? So molecular formula is also meaningless. An ionic or giant network covalent compound is described by its empirical formula or stoichiometric formula. Empirical formula of a substance is the simplest formula which gives the lowest whole number ratio between the number of atoms of different elements present in the substance. For example, crystalline or solid sodium chloride, because in solid form it forms crystals, it is also called crystalline sodium chloride, is a three-dimensional structure. Three dimensions, we have studied about three dimensions in class 7, length, breadth and height. So these have a three-dimensional structure containing sodium, which is positive ion, and chloride, which is a negative ion. So sodium chloride may be represented by formula Na plus Cl minus, and N representing the number of molecules present in a symbol, and N is a large number, because if we are talking about a pinch of salt, it will be containing molecules in such a large number that will be at least, if not impossible, it will be at least very difficult to count each and every. So this N is representing that large number. The actual number of Na plus and Cl minus ion in a sample of sodium chloride depends upon the size of sample. This sample could be anything, but in all samples, small or big, the ratio between the number of sodium ions and chloride ions is always 1:1. That means 1 for 1. For one sodium ion, there will be one chloride ion. So the simplest formula for sodium chloride is NaCl minus or NaCl. Therefore, the empirical formula or stoichiometric formula of the sodium chloride is NaCl. A covalent compound has a molecular formula CH6. That means it has 6 carbon atoms and 6 hydrogen atoms in its molecule. This is formula of benzene, about which we will study in higher classes. The lowest whole number ratio between the number of carbon and hydrogen atom is 1:1, 6:6. When simplified, we have learned how to simplify the ratio. So when we will simplify 6:6, we will get 1:1. Therefore, the formula of a compound having molecular formula of C6H6 is CH. Molecular formula is CH, but empirical formula is C6H6. Sorry, they are wrong. This is empirical formula. Molecules of an element. Many elements such as noble gases, helium, neon, argon, etc. exist as atoms. Thus, the molecules of noble gases contain one atom of respective element. Therefore, the atomicity of noble gases is 1. So we say that the molecules of helium, neon, argon, etc. are monoatomic. Such molecules are represented by their atomic symbols only. That is, the molecular formula of helium is He. In other words, in such monoatomic elements, molecular formula and atomic formula are one and the same. Molecules of elements which combine to form discrete molecules. The atoms of most non-metallic elements combine to form discrete molecules. Such molecules contain 2 or more atoms of the element and therefore have the atomicity of 2 or more than 2. For example, gases like hydrogen, nitrogen oxide, chlorine, form diatomic molecules. We know, we have just studied few minutes ago. Thus the molecules of hydrogen have H2, nitrogen N2, oxygen O2, chlorine Cl2 are diatomic. That is, the atomicity of hydrogen, nitrogen and oxygen, chlorine etc. is how much? That is 2. Phosphorus, and we are talking about yellow phosphorus. Actually phosphorus comes in two forms, yellow phosphorus and white phosphorus. We are talking about yellow phosphorus. So yellow phosphorus forms a molecule containing 4 phosphorus atoms. That is, molecule of yellow phosphorus will be P4 tetraatomic. Tetra comes for 4. So tetraatomic. Thus the atomicity of yellow phosphorus is 4 because there are 4 molecules, so atomicity of phosphorus is 4. A molecule of sulfur contains 8 atoms of the sulfur forming a Packard ring. You will study about this Packard ring in the higher class. Thus the molecule of sulfur is called as 8 and is octatomic. Octa comes for 8. We have studied in class 8 mathematics about in the reference of triangle, octagon, pentagon, hexagon, geometrical shapes. We have studied that in that class, so we know octa means 8. Molecules of elements which form network or giant molecules. There are some elements such as carbon. They form network. Such a structure consists of very large number of atoms bonded together in a particular way. For example, a diamond or graphite have very large number of atoms in them, so they are represented by their stoichiometric formula only. Number of carbon atoms are bonded together to each other. Therefore, diamond and graphite may be represented as by the formula Cn. Number of carbon atom is so large that we cannot count them, or it will be tedious to count them, so we just say Cn, where n may be a number ranging from a few hundreds to millions depending on the size of the sample. And let me remind you, 1 million equals to 10 lakh in our language. The molecule of diamond and graphite are described by their empirical formula or atomic symbol C. Now we will see molecules of metallic elements or metals. In metals, atoms of elements are packed together. Thus atoms of metallic elements form large aggregates or large let us say large form. Aggregates, when something is standing together or staying together it is called aggregation. There is no discrete molecule formed in such cases also. So the metallic elements are described by their atomic symbol or empirical formula. The empirical formula for atomic symbol of certain metals is given in table 3.4. Because they are also having large number of molecules or atoms in single aggregation, that's why we do not write their molecular formula, because it will be difficult to count all the molecules or represent. So we write their stoichiometric or empirical formula only. For example, sodium is Na, empirical formula is Na because it is having large number. Aluminium is metal, Al because it is also having large number. Now we will see molecules of compound. Elements combined with other elements in definite proportions. That means proportion shall remain definite in all the cases if that particular compound is being prepared by taking same elements. For example, if I am making carbon dioxide, ratio of the carbon and oxygen will remain 1:2, and it will hold true in all the cases. If I am making carbon dioxide in India, if I am making carbon dioxide in America, if I am making carbon dioxide in space, or if I am making carbon dioxide underground, or if I am making carbon dioxide in laboratory, or if I am making carbon dioxide by burning coal, in all the cases ratio of the carbon and oxygen will remain same. This means by definite proportions. So elements combine with other elements in definite proportions to form compounds. These compounds may be different types. Here we consider the formation of simple covalent compounds. You will learn about this covalent term is indicating the nature of bond which it is having, about bonds, and this covalent, coordinate, ionic bond, about all of these you will study later. So here we are considering the formation of simple covalent compounds from the constituent elements. During compound formation, the constituent elements combine in a definite proportion. For example, hydrogen and oxygen, ratio by mass 1:8, molecular formula H2O. Ammonia, hydrogen and nitrogen, ratio by mass 3:14. If now I am making water anywhere, or I am collecting water from anywhere, ratio by mass will remain same 1:8 at all the places. Or if I am synthesizing water in laboratory, still then the ratio by mass will remain 1:8. Same applies for ammonia, ratio will remain 3:14. In carbon dioxide, ratio will remain 3:8, and in hydrogen chloride it will remain 1:35.5 always. In the next class we shall study about iron and many more things, and we shall learn about, for example, how to write chemical formula, etc. Till then, enjoy, study hard. God bless you.